got a slow walk.
Well, unfortunately, Frank, you walked that slow. The time for your panel's up. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Nice to see you. I've been really excited to chat with you two. Much to get through, including there's been a birth in your family this week. Frank, tell the people.
Yes, the typical cowboy ranching life, yeah. Every time I'm away on business, events like this, one of my cows has a birth. So on Tuesday morning, I became the father of a little baby bull.
Congratulations. And as yet unnamed bull, if I understand correctly.
Yeah, the dad's name's Houdini. So, we haven't quite come up with a name for this bull, but the bull has already started to cause me problems. On day 2, he broke out. He got startled, and he ran through a 5-acre pasture, then through a 5-acre tree farm, into a 5-acre horse stud farm, and then he ended up taking a swim in a pond. He was in there for over an hour. We rescued him, thank God. He's safe and back with Mom.
I know this is not the reason we're here. Congratulations on the Kenny Rogers look-alike contest win. The beard is new. There is a contest, and that's why the beard exists, right, Frank?
Yeah, well, the contest is actually Jordan's fault, yeah? Because coming here to Nashville, it was like, we need to look real cowboy boys. Some of you need to grow a moustache. My problem was, my facial hair doesn't grow too well. So I thought, if I grow the beard, I could trim it back to a moustache. But everybody keeps telling me this beard actually quite suits me.
Looks great.
Now, whether I believe that or not is another question, but the beard is here at the moment. It may see Christmas. We'll see how things run.
Very elegant and distinguished, if I do say. All right. As you know, you were able to submit your questions on the app. This is a very transparent group of individuals here. We want to get to as many of them as possible. So let me begin, Jordan, if I could, with the first question. Beyond your already strong financial results, what are some of your most memorable moments and achievements from the last year?
So, well, good morning, everybody. But numbers aside, I would say pretty meaningful operational things that happened. We actually combined all of our 6 separate IMS systems into a single Tamco IMS system. So I think that's improved quality of life for the branches, gotten 1 PO. I remember in 2014, we had the first conference and we actually announced Tamco. And we said 1 PO, 1 shipment, 1 invoice. Well, 10 years later, we did it. So, hey, it took time, but we got there. So I'd say that was pretty memorable. And for me, the tours are always really memorable. Having the groups come down, visit us, whether that's groups across the U.S. or we've had a lot of Canadian groups this year too as well. So it's always good to get to meet the people, like events like this, and just face-to-face time, because we are a business of people that does business with people. And I think that it just speaks to the quality of what we have.
And Frank, you two love doing these tours. What are some memorable moments for you this past year?
Yeah, I think for me that there's 2 things that stand out, which ultimately end up in a final statement, and the strut line. You know, here we are manufacturing strut for ourselves in one of our facilities. That was an $800,000 investment last year, full production, and I think that's amazing because it opens up so many more opportunities for us to offer that product line to our customers. This year, we've taken an investment, another $800,000 to buy a high-density racking system that's going to allow us to store over 3,600 pallets. So again, it's going to help us with logistics in the building, and going to help us with better stock rotation and balance. So I'm excited about that. But those 2 things, when you think about it, you know, $800,000, we couldn't do that, first of all, without your support and your business. We couldn't do that without the support of our leadership. But most importantly, we couldn't do that without the family supporting us year in, year out to make these things possible. So for me, I would like to thank the family for all the support they give us. Tremendous.
Frank, I like that you've incorporated stroking your beard into the answers now. It really suits you. Jordan, tell us about the new websites.
New websites. So actually we hosted a survey. CES had SMU college graduates host a survey about 100 different branches and gathered all the feedback. And we really came down to like 4 major points. And one of the points was actually, hey, websites, or possibly lack thereof websites would be probably a better way to say it. So we took a lot of that feedback, and we've been working on all the different points that they gave us, but websites is definitely one. If anybody happened to browse on their phone anytime this week, you would have actually noticed that we launched an entirely new platform of websites for all of Tamco. So the CES web team worked very closely with the Tamco team, and we've got a whole new suite. You can search across all of our brands. So you can go on the F4P site, you can search for Centaur products, you can combine a single project list, and this is just phase one. So we're going to build upon this new web platform to be a lot more of a utility and tool for the CES and their end users as well.
Awesome, and I know people from the 100 branches that took part in the survey are in the room, so thanks to those of you that took part. It was very helpful, right? Good feedback.
It was absolutely helpful.
Next question, what's being done to keep up with stock demands from all the branches with all these new branches opening up? Who wants to tackle that one?
Well, I'll start. So, yeah, stock, what a challenge. I don't think any of us expected the business to grow as quick as it has done in the last 3 years. And, you know, in some ways that's caught us by surprise. And in that growth, you start to see some weaknesses. And one of the clear weaknesses that we've struggled with is definitely the ability to forecast and keep up with the ever-growing demand of products. And because of that, we, Jordan, I and the team, we went out and found a package, a software package called Stock IQ, and we got the support of John and Andrew to actually go ahead and purchase that at Christmas. And May the 14th, we managed to get that up and running, and we're now starting to use that program to help us forecast our inventory demand and balance as we move forward within the business. So I think that's a tremendous step forward. Again, another investment made to improve and provide tools that fulfill our weaknesses. And that's what it's about, solving problems. Let's continue to do that.
Yeah, I mean, to speak on that point, like Tamco offers product, right? So when we don't have product, we don't have a lot to offer. So managing that demand is pretty mission critical to what we do for the branches. And it was about 2 years ago that we realized our business was rapidly growing and our solutions or tools weren't scaling with the challenges that we were facing. So that's why we really started to go hunt, where can we find a better solution? And thank goodness the IT team worked very closely with us. A lot of our experienced Tamco team put in a lot of time, energy, and effort to take and use this tool now, the Stock IQ, that looks backwards 3 years and projects forwards 2 years while still balancing inventory. So we're really hoping that we cut our first set of POs just this month actually with the new tool, with the utility, that we're going to improve customer experience, have the products where you need them, when you need them, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Our inventory is anywhere from like 4 to 6 months away from us. So give us a little bit of time. We've put tools in place, and we're very excited because we think it's going to improve the overall customer experience.
Awesome. Again, these questions are from you. You can upvote questions so we make sure the most important ones rise to the top. We've been talking the last few days, and I've really enjoyed hearing you refer to Tamco as a 3-2-1 vendor. Yeah. What does that mean for the impact on CES and the overall business?
Okay, so the 3 stands for basically the money and the products you buy from us. We are your 3rd biggest vendor. At $183 million, we actually provide you the most product other than Siemens and CME. So I think that's a tremendous statement of how far we've come over the last sort of like 5-6 years. The 2 is the fact that we are actually the second largest rebate provider to the company, 8.8 million last year in rebates. The only company ahead of us was CME, which we've got a long way to catch them up, unfortunately, but we'll wait for that. And then the number 1, well, Jordan, if you want to tell us the figure we're most proud of.
Well, I think everyone, this is how we get paid, right? We were the number 1 profit producer for the organization. So if you combine the GP dollars made on sales plus the rebate together, the actual amount of GP dollars put into the CES bank account was most from Tamco.
Awesome.
And Jordan, I'm right in saying it was most by over $16 million, wasn't it? Yeah. Compared to number 2 spot.
Significant.
Frank, on the subject of numbers, what does the number 35 mean to you?
That's a sly one, that one is. That wasn't in yesterday's rehearsal. Yes, on Monday, I celebrate the starting of my 35 years with CES. And I know there's people in the room that have got a lot more tenure than me, so let's give them an applaud as well, yeah? But the opportunity that's been afforded to me over my career is unbelievable, you know, and again, thank you to the family, thank you to all of you in the room for giving me the opportunity to grow and to be part of this. My thoughts go back to Mr. Tom Mackey at that moment in time as well. You know, he took a gamble on me in 2005, and yeah.
Here we are.
Special moments.
It's my second day, and I'm frankly getting emotional. When will the RPP...
You've got me now, yeah? So, before you go too further, yeah, I want one back. Jonathan, I've watched you all day yesterday, here today. You've turned up without a cowboy hat. So, true. Jordan and me have gone out and bought you a little gift.
No way.
I tell you, sometimes no expense spared. Tomorrow, if you come and see me, we'll give you a flat cap as well with Tamco on.
Really?
Yeah, so there
Thank
you go.
you. And the receipt's in the bag in case I wanted to return it?
No, you don't.
For a minute, I thought you brought this paper bag out here just to bring your water in it. So does this mean I'm a bad guy? There you go. Thank you. Finally, something to take the sheen off my gigantic forehead. When will the RPP wire and cable get CSA approved for Canada? I'd love to promote more Tamco product at my branch.
I say this is actually a pretty cool question because we want to tell you guys something today that is not specifically this, but it's going to lead us into this. So RPP is actually traditionally a device and kind of like electrical accessories brand. Now we've been housing wire inside of it because it's where we started the low voltage wire category. But at the conference today, tomorrow, if you stop by the trade show booth, we're actually launching a new brand for the first time in a very long time, and that brand is dedicated to wire and cable, and the brand name is 1329 Wire and Cable. So that's pretty cool for Tamco because we don't launch brands every day. Now, it's a little bit of a clever brand. We worked with marketing, and if anyone could think, well, what would that number be? 13 is the periodic element table number, the atomic number for aluminum, and 29 is the periodic atomic number for copper.
Wow.
So yeah, we're very intelligent, you know, seriously.
Yeah.
Super smart people.
Yeah.
But where that goes for Canada, because this is relevant, we've already placed our initial order for low voltage cable to go to the Canadian market under the 1329 brand. So you will have it.
Awesome. Just a little over 5 minutes left, so this is kind of the speed round. We want to get to as many of these as possible. On the subject of supply, when do you anticipate the supply shortage to come to an end while trying to keep mostly in-house? Tamco, it's a bit difficult when they're out of stock and with long lead times.
Yeah, that one's kind of back on the Stock IQ thing. So I would say we just cut POs with Stock IQ this month, actually. The team did a pretty aggressive round, and after vetting the data, we cut the POs. So I would say we probably will start to see improvements 6 months out from today. And those improvements will be across all the facilities because Stock IQ manages SKUs per location, per demand per location. So it will actually balance the inventory across all the distribution sites.
Frank, with the new growth and the addition of 44 new branches, how can Tamco help a new branch stock up?
Wow, yeah. So we've got a lot of opportunities for a new branch to buy in with product. There's a special rebate in there for them, an extra 5%. But the real key is us having the stock. And again, it leads back to Stock IQ. It leads back to the warehousing facilities. One of the things that we did earlier on this year, we've just increased the size of our Charlotte warehouse by an extra 40,000 square feet, which I think is important. That's going to be used to hold the copper, the aluminum wire. That's going to be used to hold all the PVC and steel pipe in Charlotte, so that's coming. We've also placed orders now for steel pipe to go into India and into Las Vegas as well. So yeah, we're learning as quick as we can do to get this balance of stock right so that we can support existing branches and new locations. And I think as a company, our communication is getting better because we're now seeing 3 and 4 months ahead what new branches are coming, and that's allowing us to put that into the forecasting system to help us get stock right.
So, another thing we've done actually that we just invested in, we haven't received it yet, we'll be setting it up in September this year, is we just invested in a high density racking solution for Port St. Lucie. And what that's going to do is it's basically going to take an area of our warehouse and put pallets back to back to back with a radial shuttle system that'll deliver them to you. And we'll be able to get about another 3,600 pallets in that building. So we'll have additional capacity to store. Currently, if you're wondering, that building stores about 13,000 pallets. So it's a significant improvement on the pallet storage.
And I'd also like to say, in the audience today, we've got 3 guests with us who've travelled in from China, Jackie, Wendy and Alan, and they're such a big part of our business, Jordan, too, that stock management, that stock process. I'd like to actually a round of applause for those 3 people and the support they've given us for over 20 years. Jackie's been with the company for 21 years. Wendy and Alan are just at 14 years as well. So they're very much an integral part of what we do to make sure the quality and the products we bring are reliable, consistent to you guys.
I don't think we're speed rounding very good.
Yeah.
Here's a question from Wesley Wyatt from Oklahoma City. When did Tamco first open?
Oh man. So in the US, we technically weren't Tamco, but Tamlite would have been the first brand, and that was in 1996. So if we want to roll the clock way back, Frank?
Way back, yeah. It was 1967 in the UK. Mr. Mackey had a bit of an experience with one of the vendors, and the vendor was changing all the terms and conditions, and Tom wasn't pleased with that, and I think somewhere in the conversation, Tom got himself into a little bit of a corner. The challenge was thrown out, and Tom accepted that challenge and said, I'll go away and make it myself. And look at where we are today.
Wow.
It really is a true story of success.
Okay, true speed round. Are there plans to open more shipping centers around the U.S.? Jordan.
At this time, not right now. We need to stabilize the current centers we have, I would say, and get the inventory balance correct so we can more effectively utilize them.
Last question. With all of this new growth and opportunity in mind, what's the next big thing on the horizon for Tamco?
Good question. We have just got approval and we've placed the orders for our own AC/DC disconnect, which we hope to have in play for Christmas. I think that's a big item that we're missing from our portfolio at the moment because of what's happened with one of our vendors. So I'm excited about that because we know there's a demand for that product out there. So the AC/DC disconnect unit is going to be a big win for us all later on this year. So that's one thing. We've mentioned the racking, Jordan. That's another big thing, yeah. And the big thing I'm excited about, Jordan, is tomorrow. Tomorrow's event. If you want to come and see us, I managed to get a belt buckle for my trousers. They tell me things in Texas are big, but in Florida, we do it even larger, yeah? So, come and see us tomorrow. Come in and experience the new web pages. Come and experience what we've got going on. And there's an opportunity for a buy-in where you can actually get hold of a nice little belt buckle with the CS logo on it to make us all proud and finish off our cowboy uniforms as we carry on with our daily work.
Frank, Jordan, you are, in cowboy terms, as they say, white hats, couple of good guys. Appreciate your time this morning. Let's hear it for Frank and Jordan from Tamco, everybody.